I will survive. And as long as I have Survivor Series weekend, I know I'll be alive. That's right, this is Survivor Series weekend, and we had two pretty good shows. We had a show called NXT War Games, and we had a show called Survivor Series. Is anybody ready for Asuka? We'll find out.
Very well done. Very, very well done. I liked that. Hello, everybody. Welcome to WWPWW episode 50-something. I don't know. Special Monday night edition.
That's right.
I probably won't be able to get this up until Tuesday night, though. Busy stuff.
Yep. Thanksgiving week, so we got stuff. You're going down to the ATL area, and I'm gonna stay around here, and so it's gonna be hard to do a Raw, SmackDown show with this. But the NXT Survivor Series happened, and we probably need to get something up there.
Yeah. So Monday Night Raw will be coming to a close as we're talking.
Yep.
As we're talking about this, it's a 9:30 Central Time. Here on the main streets of Central Illinois, Stone Cold would say. I love how he's always main streets of Los Angeles. That always kills me. Here we are. We're gonna do a special edition Monday night wrestling podcast, special spectacular episode something. I don't know. Yeah, man. Super excited to talk about these two things. Can't wait to watch Raw either tomorrow night or tonight a little bit. I don't know, but I'm really excited to see where everything goes. So many good stuff happened this week. So many puzzling things, so many intriguing things happened this weekend.
Yep.
Cannot wait to see where all of this will unfold, man. Don't think there's any big news really that we've heard.
Outside of what happened tonight.
Outside of a couple things we've heard.
No idea where that's going,
Raw.
so we won't talk about that because we don't know the context. But we just know that someone is back on Raw, and she's brought two of her friends from NXT. Was really surprised. So we'll see if they're actually called up or if this is just one time.
Yeah. I think there's something else I was gonna say, but I don't think so.
Oh yeah, there is one other thing. The ab-off between Gargano and Shawn Michaels happened this weekend, and they've got the points tallied, and it was, I don't know if it was an overwhelming, but I'm gonna say it was an overwhelming response to Johnny Gargano for winning. And so Johnny Gargano wins the ab-off number 1. Johnny Gargano on Twitter calls out Shawn Michaels to do something else at WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels responds and says, yes, let's do an ab-off too. And then Roderick Strong chimes in and says, I want in this time. I'm fully heterosexual. This is funny. This kind of stuff is funny. It's funny to just do these kind of silly things and have fun with it. So ab-off number 1 at the NXT Takeover Warzone goes to Johnny Gargano. We'll see where it goes from there.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I didn't see that. So, was it during War Games or was it before or after? Or?
It was after, and they did it on Twitter or something.
Okay.
They showed their abs and they said vote, and then.
Okay, yeah, because I watched like the whole show of War Games, so I didn't think it was on there.
No, it wasn't on War Games. It was an unofficial thing that they came up with, which is kind of funny. Anyway.
All right. Yeah, I can't think of anything. There will probably be no weekly recap because it's Thanksgiving week, and lots of crazy stuff is going to be happening. So we will not be at our usual time on Wednesday. Probably have to wait, do it next week. Probably have to do it next week. Might, any big stuff that happens this week, I'm sure we'll talk about on that. If it's any big stuff, any fun stuff, and then of course we'll talk about next week's episodes.
Absolutely.
Oh, good stuff. So, do you want to go ahead and just get right in?
Let's talk about War Games! Or at least, what's titled War Games. Let's talk about War Games. NXT War Games. We can go back and forth since we got our handy-dandy list.
Yeah, we can go back and forth, yeah.
I'll go ahead and start.
Okay.
That's all right.
Go ahead.
All right, Lars Sullivan versus Cassius Ohno.
Oh no! He's got a good song. He's got a good theme.
grew on me, or Chris Hero, whoever you want to call, whatever name you want to call him. Big things for this guy. I mean, the cool. Sorry, I'm apparently hyper tonight. Maybe we should do these more of a nighttime. I'm crazy.
I know, like we're both super excited.
Yeah, and so like NXT is building up this big man mentality. I had a Facebook conversation with a friend of mine earlier on this evening, and basically we're both just like we're stoked and to see where Braun is going, but we'll talk about that later. And all of these big guys like Lars, like Cassius, like even like Drew McIntyre, and even already in WWE with Roman Reigns. Like, who doesn't want to see Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre? Who doesn't want to see Roman Reigns versus Cassius Ohno? Who doesn't want to see all these even Aleister Black? Like, there are some big guys coming up.
Aleister and Braun is kind of where I'm definitely like,
Yeah.
oh yes, now take my money, give me that.
Yeah. And so like NXT right now, they're harvesting all these big guys to go up against Roman Reigns and against Braun, because right now it's just basically Braun and Roman and sometimes Kane, sometimes Big Show, who hopefully will come back eventually, and then that's pretty much it. And so I'm excited to see this. And so this first match, Caleb, what did you think? Lars versus Cassius Ohno.
Considering it was only 5 minutes long, it was pretty decent, and it like felt just like, let's just do a fun match. Let's just go out there, have fun, and yeah, it was just really, really good. It's good when matches can be short, but you remember them, and you're not bored watching them, and you're not just like, oh, it's over already, okay. Yeah, not really much to say. It was just a good match.
I agree. I think one of the best things about Cassius is that both he and Aleister have this big fight feel. They feel like when they're in the ring and they hit somebody, you believe it.
Oh yeah.
You believe they hit it really hard. And to see Lars push, it's a Vince guy. I mean,
he's a big sweaty man.
He's a big sweaty man. He's a Vince guy, and so I'm interested in seeing where they go with him. If they actually will eventually put the title on him, eventually or not. I think a couple of the guys that wrestled, like Cassius, like Aleister, and the rumor is Drew is actually getting ready to be called up, and until possibly injured. But I haven't heard anything since they were supposed to know today what happened with him. But I haven't heard anything yet, and so I'm stoked to see these big guys as well. And so this match, I think if it went any longer, it would have been maybe a tad boring. But they did all their good stuff in it. The big kicks, the big punches. Yeah, it was a good match. It was a decent match for 5 minutes long, and it pushes Lars into a big man role. I mean, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with everybody there. So, yeah.
All right, cool. Now we have my personal favorite match of the night was Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream. Jeremy, what'd you think of this match?
Yeah, it was a great match. 14 minutes long, 14 and a half minutes long, I guess. When Velveteen Dream came in, he was named something else. I did not like him. When he came back and he had this persona, it's like, okay, it's too Goldust, it's too Prince, it's too, all these different things. And like even in this match, he was very Rick Rude. Like, it was like Rick Rude meets meets Prince meets Goldust. But it worked. I love his rolling DVD. I liked everything I saw in this. Aleister Black is just the man right now. I hope they handle him well in the future, because he has so much star power.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't say anything hardly ever.
Yeah.
And so I like him. I think he could be, if they don't screw him up like Bray, he could be the successor to Undertaker.
Yeah, I can see. Really I see that. Yeah.
Not necessarily a cult guy, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Just that guy was like, ooh, there's something mysterious about him, and he's just like this really silent, hardcore guy. Yeah, he's kind of a little bit of Undertaker, a little bit of Stone Cold, a little bit of RVD because of like the legit martial arts background and like the kind of high flying, but also kind of brawling and really technical kind of. Yeah, he's great, man. He is. He's probably one of the best guys in the whole company, not just the NXT brand, just the whole company. Agreed. Right now. he, like you said about like Cassius, he does have that big fight feel. Also, you're absolutely right about that. He does. Like, this was only the second match, because the two pre-show matches, are going to be shown on NXT this week. Like, this is only the second match, and this felt like a main event match.
It did.
Only 14 and a half minutes long. It felt like it was 20. And I was just like constantly like, oh man, like I was like just super pumped up. And it's just like Velveteen Dream, who I'm not familiar with because I don't really watch NXT that much. I was just like, whoa, who's this guy? I was like, wow, this guy's very, very, bright, colorful personality, and stuff like that. But I was just like, all right, let's see if he can go. And he can go.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, he's leaps and bounds from when I first saw him.
Oh, yeah.
And so to see him hang with Aleister Black, so much hope for this guy in the future. And Kevin Owens even put it on Twitter. He's like, everybody will know your name in the future.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's absolutely right. Speaking of Kevin Owens, I think he's getting ready to become a face.
Just really? Saying. Interesting.
Just saying. The look on his face this weekend was kind of interesting. Anyway, what else? Anything else about this match?
Like I said, this was. I don't know if it was the best match of the night, but most definitely it was my favorite.
Yeah.
I was just on the edge of my seat, and it was just so cool and like hard hitting. Like like when Aleister Black hits somebody, it's like you believe that it actually kills. Like just like oh yeah, it's just awesome. Like yeah, he's so cool, and just this match was really really good. I enjoyed it. It's one that's probably going to go on my top 10 just because of the impact it left on me and the rewatch value it has with me. It might be, on my top 10 list just because it made such a big impression on me. And, our lists are objective. It's not, it's kind of like our favorites and mixed with like just great like matches that are genuinely great. You have to kind of, you can't just be a critic all the time. You have to be a fan also. And so I was like, man, yeah, that's going on my top 10 best because it's like it was really really good and it also just drew me in.
Yeah.
Without following the storyline prior, by watching NXT, they just showed the pre-match promo and I was like, okay, I get what's going on, and then boom.
Yeah, and with all that being said, these four individuals in the first two matches, if WWE would just pull back a second and realize that maybe we need to start doing class divisions. Universal on Raw, all the big guys. The littler guys on in the Intercontinental title. You know what I mean? Like they need to do class sizes to get everybody to have their money's worth from these people. They could sell like Aleister Black. I think in the next couple of years could be one of those guys that people would want to go see.
Yeah.
Dude is making strides, and like you said, there is big fight feel. You could put Aleister Black. Now, when he first came in, I wasn't too impressed. Like I wasn't too impressed when he faced Neville at the European tour or the UK tour tournament. I wasn't too impressed. He was fine, but not as impressed. He has gotten increasingly better. One of his best matches was against Kyle O'Reilly several months ago when Kyle O'Reilly came in. The dude has impressed me ever since, and so the guys like Aleister Black and Lars, and I already said, they need to figure out a weight division in all of WWE right now. I hope they do eventually, because all four of these guys deserve a spot in that. Anything else about that match before we move on?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right, the Fatal 4-Way match for the vacant NXT Women's Championship. Sorry, vacant, you no longer have any championships after this weekend. Keep striving, vacant. Keep striving. This one was Ember Moon, Kairi Sane, the winner of the women's tournament, Nikki Cross, and Peyton Royce. Caleb, what were your thoughts?
I thought this match was pretty good. I think it could have gone. It was only 10 minutes. It felt like it was longer, but I think even still, it could have gone on longer.
Agreed.
The end. I liked the finish. It was a good finish, but I just feel like it was a really good finish. But I just feel like they arrived to it kind of suddenly.
I agree.
They should have built a little bit more up to it. But that being said, it was a good match. All the ladies did their job. Ember Moon, my bae, she won. Like I said when we watched this last night. or when we were watching Survivor Series, I told you, I was like, whenever I watch Becky Lynch wrestle, I feel like I'm cheating on Ember Moon. And when I watch Ember Moon wrestle, I feel like I'm cheating on Becky Lynch. So it's just a joke. I'm not a creepy stalker person.
Yeah. I mean, what?
Yeah. But yeah, I was really impressed with this match. It was pretty good, and I'm glad that Ember Moon won. She really deserved it. I thought that was cool that Asuka was there to hand her the championship, and they hugged it out and stuff. Like I like seeing in any sport, entertainment, whatever you want to call it, mutual respect between athletes, performers, whatever. I like seeing stuff like that, and yeah, that was really cool. And Kairi Sane is out of this world, and I think she will become the next NXT Women's Champion after Ember Moon has a respectable reign and then gets called up, because she's fantastic. And you're absolutely right. Her elbow rivals that of Macho Man. Like, yeah, it's an amazing. Yeah, she's a great wrestler, and everybody loves her. She has a cool pirate gimmick, which for some reason totally works. Like, and Nikki Cross is fantastic. She's awesome. And Peyton Royce, who I know you're not exactly high on,
She was better.
she did
She was better than
she did decent. She did pretty decent in this
Yeah,
match.
agreed.
Because yeah, like I really am not that familiar with her, like even a little bit. But yeah, it was decent.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this is one of Peyton Royce's better matches. She does have a sick uh, fisherman suplex. Uh, I really like her fisherman suplex a lot. I wish there was more Nikki in this match,
Yeah.
but I think you're absolutely right. I think the next challenger to the championship, the true challenger, I
Mhm.
think Ember might have a couple, in between matches
Mhm.
to make her become heel, because they're not. There's no way they're gonna make Kairi Sane heel.
Oh yeah,
No way.
No way.
I think Ember's character could easily go heel.
Mhm.
Um,
Or even just like really sassy babyface, even.
yes. Yeah. So yeah, the match was really good. Ember absolutely 100% deserves it. She deserved it way back when, but I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
Kairi Sane will be the next women's champion before Ember gets called up. I think Peyton and Billie Kay will probably be called up in the near future, and I can almost guarantee they're going to SmackDown.
I think Ember would be better on SmackDown.
I agree that they have a better wrestling
Like
crew
Ember
there.
versus Natalia.
Yeah.
Ember versus Charlotte.
Naomi.
Ember versus
Ember
Naomi.
Naomi will be crazy.
I think that would be, because they're both really, really athletic, and not that Natalia and Charlotte aren't, but I mean they don't do like as high flying, uber athletic stuff like Naomi does.
Yep. And like you said, Ember Moon wins with double
Yeah, the double
eclipse, which was kind of cool. I was kind of skeptical because I mean Peyton and Nikki.
Yeah.
Peyton and Nikki had to stand there for a tad, but it was all right. But Kairi Sane got her elbow in, which was really rad. The double with the two people there, that was really
Yeah,
rad.
that was.
So there's no doubt that Kairi Sane is the next women's champion. In my mind and in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So good job, Ember. Great match. Like you said, it was a 10-minute match, but it felt like 15, 20.
It felt a lot longer. It did, because it was just never boring. There was always stuff happening.
Like I said, I wanted more Nikki Cross.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so hot on Nikki Cross. I think she's great.
She is. She really is.
And not to take anything away from Peyton Royce, I think she's okay in the ring. I love the personality. I love the whole iconic duo gimmick. I just wish they were a tad better in the ring. That's me.
Okie doke. All right, so now we have Andrade Cien Almas with Zelina Vega going up against Drew McIntyre for the NXT. I had to do their respective accents. For the NXT Championship. Jeremy, this match, what did you think?
I liked it. When Andrade came in, I wasn't too come into NXT. I wasn't too high on him, but his matches with Gargano and matches that I guess ever since Brooklyn 2, he's grown on me. The guy can go in the ring if he has someone he can go with. I liked the match. I liked all of the stuff. Both characters had their high spots. Zelina Vega, like I don't know if she'll ever wrestle in the ring, but I don't care. I love the fact that she'll Hurricane the person from the outside. I like her character with Cien. there was speculation that this match was changed because Drew got hurt. The reality is Andrade was always going to win.
Okay.
They came out, well, I should say it's been reported that once you watch it, knowing that Andrade was always going to win, you can tell that Andrade was always going to win.
Okay.
Because of that last move was meant to put Drew out. Drew is apparently hurt, something to do with his bicep. Some people are speculating that it was the last move he held on too long. I think it was before that when he flew outside the ring, because when you watch it back, he not to say you can't curse at any time, but he used a curse word as he was going out, and he looked hurt before that. So we'll see what happens. Again, we don't know what happened. We don't know the prognosis because I haven't heard it yet. Maybe I'll check here in a little bit. But as far as everything else goes, I liked the match. It was good. It's probably my third favorite of the match of the night, because you're right. The Aleister Black Velveteen Dream was second to only to the War Games. But it was a good match. Both these guys have big match feel. Drew, like I said before, Drew is possibly going to be coming up soon, or should have been coming up soon. I think if he can heal by Royal Rumble, perfect time for him to come in.
Oh yeah, I think that'd be cool if he popped up in the Rumble.
Just let him heal up. Hopefully he'll heal up by Royal Rumble. He comes in. I think eventually he and Roman. I would love to see that match.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Keep him away from Braun for a little bit, but I think Braun needs to be the next champion after Roman, and then eventually Drew after that, in my opinion, for the Universal. Anyway, Caleb, what were your thoughts about the match?
Yeah, I thought it was really, really good too. Like, it was just one of those matches where you're just like, I can't say anything bad about it really. Like, it was just really good. I really enjoyed it. I really, really liked Drew McIntyre a lot when he came back and stuff. And he is sort of like, you know, he does very, very much look like a Scottish Roman Reigns, kind of. And I was just like, are they trying to make Roman Reigns look like Drew McIntyre? Or are they trying to make Drew McIntyre look like Roman Reigns?
I think they're trying to make Roman look like Drew, because I think Drew was in WWE before Roman, wasn't he?
He was, but he didn't. I don't think he had a beard back then. So
true, but
yeah,
Drew was apparently supposed to be the golden child of Vince.
Oh yeah, back then he was, yeah. So yeah, there's kind of, so that could be a cool thing of just yeah. I was kind of thinking that because like when he came out and his hair was in front of his face and then he flipped his head back and it went back, I was like, that was a very Roman thing, and I was just like, oh, I want that match right now, like. But this match was really, really good. Almost did a good job. Zelina Vega, I really like her. She's funny. She's a good foil for anybody. And you know I like what she like tried to do a crossbody and like he just like didn't just like catch her and then just like put her on the apron or something like that, or
she was going for the Hurricane Rana.
Yeah.
And then she was hanging, and then he just threw her back up.
Yeah. I couldn't remember what it was exactly, but yeah, like that was really cool. Yeah, I really liked it. It was a good match. I really liked Drew McIntyre. He's awesome, and almost, you know, really, really pleasantly surprised me. Just not to say anything like, you know, like, oh, I wasn't expecting anything from him. I didn't know what to expect, and so it was a nice surprise to be like, oh wow, very, very good. You know, like it was really good. Not much else I can say, man. It was just a really good match.
Awesome. So Andrade Cien Almas is our new NXT champion. I'm okay with that. I think Zelina adds a lot to his character, to be honest, and they work well together. Let's keep going. Let's see what happens with him as champion. All right, the War Games match. We were all excited to see what happens, to see what they would do, what they would change. And so we get the Undisputed Era with Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Authors of Pain, Akam and Razor, and Roderick Strong all together. Roderick coming out in the Authors of Pain gear, which was pretty rad.
That was.
And then versus Sanity with Alexander Wolf, Eric Young, Killian Dane. Caleb, what were your thoughts on this match?
This was a fantastically entertaining and brilliant match. Just, yeah, it was just so good. Like, just very entertaining, never boring. I like the, I just, the War Games is such a cool concept. It's just like, yeah, you put 3 teams in there, or every man for himself, or whatever it is. I don't know, but like I don't know, but like it's just cool. 2 rings, super long, a super long steel cage, and I like that it didn't have a top, so they could you know go up and jump
Yep.
off the top and stuff. Add a little bit more to it. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, it was just awesome. Like so many great spots. Probably the biggest spot, the one most people will remember, was Alexander Wolf doing the super German suplex from the corner to I can't remember if it was Akam or Razar,
It
but
was one of them.
it was one of. They look so much
They
alike,
do
man.
very much
They're
so.
built
They're not
just
twins, but they.
yeah. They could pass for at least brothers at the very least. Like, and yeah, like he just did that super German suplex to one of them and just like went through both the tables. That was sick. That was awesome. Adam Cole is just yeah. I've just been completely impressed with him. Like, and you were just like, yeah, his character, he's like total DX Shawn Michaels. And then seeing him wrestle and seeing him in his mannerisms and talking and smiling, I was like, wow, that is Shawn Michaels. Totally. Yeah, he's fantastic. I was super impressed with him. Watching the pre-match promo for this, I got really interested and excited into this whole Undisputed Era thing. I thought that was really, really cool. And Roderick Strong had some great spots in this, man. It was awesome. And I think having the Undisputed Era go over was the right call.
Absolutely.
And I was just like, and it's just one of those things where it's just a match you just watch and you enjoy. And I absolutely did. It was fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah, it was. For my money, it was the best match of the weekend.
I'd agree.
It just there was so much about it, and to be honest, to be more honest, um, the it, they picked the right people to do it. Like every one of these teams are amazing. Everyone who is in that ring just are some of the best wrestlers in the world. Um, and I didn't want to say that because of Authors of Pain. I don't know that they actually wrestled a whole lot before this because I don't remember. I don't know where they came from, but yeah, it was amazing. There were so many different spots. The Adam Cole on crawling, inchworming his way on the top. That was really funny, and then getting over to do the superplex off of it into all of the people. And so I mean, even before that, like so many bodies were on the floor, and that's why I had to post on Twitter. Let the
The
bodies hit the
GIF,
floor.
yeah, that was pretty funny.
I just I want them to do war games, not more often, but at least once a year.
Yeah.
I think they could pull it off. They had the right chemistry at the right time to do it. And I think if Dusty were alive today, he would have been so proud of everyone in that ring. Every one of those guys left everything they had on the mat. There wasn't one who was better than the other. Well, there weren't. I shouldn't say that. Because Killian Dane was.
Everybody did their part.
Everybody did their part, and there wasn't one that was less so. Killian Dane was a standout. Alexander Wolf, like you said, after the spot on the 2 tables, that was amazing. That dude is crazy. I think he's crazy in real life.
Yeah.
Like I'm totally honest with you. No, okay. I don't believe you're crazy, Alexander. Don't come kill me. But you play your part amazingly.
Yeah, I mean he got busted open, man,
Yep.
on that spot, and he finished the match. It was pretty epic.
And the crazy thing is, all 3 of those teams are ready to be moved up. They need their own show. All 3. I mean, they just. I know NXT is their show right now, but all 3 of those guys, all 3 of those teams, sorry, are they? Most of them have been wrestling for a long time now.
Yeah.
And so to see that veteran stuff play out, yeah, I'm ready to see every one of those guys on the main roster. Maybe even taking some places of people. To be honest, they just were amazing. I love the War Games match.
It was definitely match of the weekend. Not my favorite match of the night. That goes to the Aleister Black, but this was the match of the night, though. This was the best match of the night. This was the best match of the weekend. So, Jeremy, letter grade for NXT War Games. What would you give it?
I would give War Games an A.
An A?
Yeah. There wasn't anything I hated. I think it was it was leaps and bounds above Toronto. It was leaps and bounds above a couple of the other ones that I've seen in the past year. So, except for Brooklyn 2. Brooklyn 2 is still really good for me.
Brooklyn 2 was great.
But this one was well done. Caleb, what did you think?
Yeah, man, I'm so close to giving it an A+, but I just don't want to like get caught up in the whole thing and be like A+, and then later on just be like, it was good, but I kind of overrated it. So yeah, I'm just gonna give it an A. Also, I was not bored. I loved every. I even if a match wasn't great, there was no bad matches, and there was at least aspects or fun parts in a match. Yeah, it was great. Like it was fantastic. It gets a solid A from me as well. So, all right, sweet. Now we are moving on to Survivor Series, one of the original four, one of the big four. Really, really excited for Survivor Series, man. So many big names. Like the marquee probably should have collapsed under all of the star power on it. This is probably like the most star-studded pay-per-view we've seen since we started watching wrestling, since we got back into watching wrestling.
Yep.
And probably since we've been doing the podcast, I think. Yeah, this was sick, man. And so we didn't watch the pre-show, so we will, even though I'm sure some of them were fun, I'm sure some of them were good. We didn't watch it, so sadly we will not be discussing them. But the first match we had, the Hounds of Justice versus the Unicorn Stampede. It was the Shield versus New Day. Jeremy, what did you think of this match?
Absolutely horrible. No, I'm just kidding. It was fine. It was a good opener. It whetted the palates for what is to come. There wasn't like a standout moment. I think there was some glitchy stuff here and there. I think Big E was a little off his game at a couple times. I remember just thinking, Big E, you need to be beyond this. It's kind of interesting. Someone had pointed out on YouTube. I can't remember who it was. I don't know. Anyway, somebody pointed out that Big E keeps saying that the Shield, they've broken up before, they'll break up again. So there's some thinking that maybe Big E causes a breakup of the New Day, and so we'll see what happens. I don't think New Day will break up anytime soon. They are cash cows for the WWE, and so are the Shield.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally don't want the Shield to break up for a long time. Give them a year. Maybe in that same time break up the New Day eventually, but I just don't want them to break up.
Yeah,
because they're so good. But it's also, you also can think they've done pretty much everything now. What do we do with them? Break them up for a bit, and then we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the match goes, it was fine. It was 21 minutes, which it didn't feel that way.
It really didn't. It flew by.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, 21 minutes. It felt like 15 or something, or 10. But the big spot at the end with the, what do they call it?
The Cerberus Powerbomb or something, I think. If not, they should.
yeah. On paper, it was really good. On as far as doing it, it was fine. I think you actually mentioned that maybe they should have did it on their knees, like
they all landed on their feet, which took tremendous grace and balance because they all landed just flush, hard, firmly on the ground. But I think, if they went to their knees, it would have added more sound effect and it would have added more impact.
Yeah, because it looked awkward when they did it on their feet.
Yeah.
I understand the idea. They want to stand strong, and so I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, in order to show power, in order to make it look cooler, you need to land on your knees, or even on his backside, on his butt, like they do the sit out.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, what did you think of the match?
I really liked it. It was really fun. It was a great opener. It was a fun match, man. It was a great way to start off the evening. Both of these guys, both teams, did a really good job of getting everybody into it, and it was awesome. And I thought the last spot was pretty cool, but there was something that it kind of was lacking a little bit, but not by much. It was a good opening match. Not bad at all.
Right on. All right. Next match is the Team Raw women's team versus Team SmackDown women's team. 5-5 Survivor Series interbrand elimination match. Sorry, I'm just reading pages. All right, Caleb, what did you think about this match?
It was pretty good. There was a little, there was some stuff that that was kind of botchy in it every so often, but not a whole lot, not enough to just kind of make you go ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were just like, oh my gosh, I hate wrestling right now. Like nothing like that. There was just a couple little things here and there that was kind of like, oh, that was awkward. Having Becky Lynch go out first was really surprising. So that kind of added a big element of surprise to it. I loved Tamina and Nia going at it. That was a cool spot for them to go at it like that. It was enjoyable. It had its moments. I love the whole Alicia Fox, I'm the captain thing. Like, that's very funny. It was really well done. And yeah, they really made Asuka shine really well in this. That was a good, man, that freight train has been rolling for whatever 600 days, and it's gonna go until it runs out of steam. But the coals are still burning hard, so I feel like the Asuka train's gonna power down nowhere.
Yep.
Nowhere soon. So yeah, some good stuff in it. Not a phenomenal match, but it was good despite the botches here and there.
Yep. Two things need to happen. One, they need to create a women's tag team division.
Yes.
And two, the reason why, because Asuka needs to have the belt forever. And I say that because what is best for business? Who brings people in? Asuka does. Asuka's monster push in NXT, some might say was by happenstance. Some might say they did it on purpose. I don't know. I don't care. All I know is you have to ride this momentum.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to have cash in your pocket, WWE, you need to have her as champion for as long as possible. I know it sounds like it might be boring at times, and I get that. Don't necessarily have to put her in the championship right now. You can give Nia the belt. You can give don't give Sasha the belt. You can give Nia the belt and have Alexa have the belt for a bit. But your cash cow is an Asuka, and you showed that during this match. You showed her as the big beast that she can be, and she will draw you the money. She can make you fat cash. You need to ride her as the champion, and then in order for the other women to actually do stuff, you need to have a women's tag team title. You have to bring it back. It was great, in my opinion. It was some of the best wrestling in the '80s with the Jumping Bomb Angels, and even like the I can't remember who I said that they wrestled during that match, but there was some like next level stuff done during that Survivor Series match. Or not Survivor Series, whatever Rumble. I can't remember. Whatever match it was. Anyway, those are the two things you need to do. As far as the match goes, it was fine. The spots, like you already said, Tamina versus Nia. I want to see that in the future. Lana, I hope you didn't get hurt too bad. I hope your ankle's okay. That looked like it hurt. Carmella not cashing in at all that night. I don't know when they're going to do that, which I'm fine with them not doing it. But yeah, Becky Lynch going out, and then I think Bayley was the first one out on the Raw side.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Which Becky's fine going out first.
Yeah, Becky's not hurt at all. No. She's Becky, man.
So as far as all that goes, that's what you need to do. You've proven that you want Asuka as your number one person by doing this match. Make her the champion eventually. Then tag teams with the women, because you got so many women coming up right now from NXT that are just amazing. So make it so, number one.
Yeah, I agree completely. Asuka, just give her the belt and let her run, man. Never stop. Won't stop, can't stop, go. What? Anyways, so our next match, we have the United States Champion representing SDL, We have the Lone Wolf Baron Corbin going up against the Team Red Boy Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, the A-lister. Jeremy, what did you think of this match?
Better than I thought it was going to be. They played up both characters and they did a really good job. And I like the build up, all the stuff on Twitter and Snapchat and all that stuff that they did. It was a good, decent match. Bo and Curtis got involved into it, and so yeah, better than I thought. What about you?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. It was one of those things where you're just like, wow, that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. That was really good. Like we both really enjoyed it, and just under 10 minutes, just 9.5 minutes. Good. That was great. That was good link for it. They both got their high spots in. They both did some good stuff. A lot of good character development. A lot of good character heat between them. Heel versus heel can be awesome, and this proves that. It was good. All their stuff going back and forth was great. Over social media, and I liked Baron dropping that promo on him. Just be like, my hand went up, your mouth went shut. Like
it was good.
That was very good. Like he seemed like he was like really proud of that because he was kind of smiling when he said it. So that was it was really good, man. It was just a really good match that was well done.
Right on. All right, next match we got is the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, versus the Raw Tag Team Champions, Cesaro and Sheamus. Caleb, what'd you think about? Sorry, he just did something that was really funny. What'd you think about the match?
This match was fantastic. I loved it. Nothing wrong with it. Everything was right with it. I'm super high on the Usos right now. So I'm super high on the Bar right now. They were, and I just love that. The Bar. We're bartenders. We're pole vaulters. Like all that stuff was funny. Like what was that one thing they said that killed you and I? That they said in it, man. I'm trying to remember, but like they said it and like it made us laugh because you were just like, man, I'm glad we went back and watched that. I can't remember what it was though, and I'm completely blanking. It was really really funny though. But yeah, it was. I just really really liked it. I enjoyed it. The Usos have just been in so many great tag matches. All the matches they did with New Day were fantastic. This one was really really good too. Yeah, man. I just can't say it. I just don't know what else I can say about it. I just really really liked it, and it's another one that I will go back and probably watch again because I really really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was great. And my favorite thing about the whole match was when one of the Usos were jumping out of the ring and tagging at the same time.
Yeah.
And you don't see that very often. Jimmy and Jay are some of the most athletic wrestlers in the whole of WWE, and maybe arguably the best tag team that WWE has right now. Even though Cesaro and Sheamus are great, and the Revival are great, and the Hardys are great. Jimmy and Jay, like you said, they've had too many good matches to not be their number one tag team in all of WWE. I mean, I can't say any more. There was a backstage video that had them before the match. It was after the New Day match, and New Day was coming in, and they had their heads all low, and Jimmy and Jay are like, you guys don't have to worry about that. You went up against the Shield. You went up against the Shield, and like they were just going off about that. And so by the time New Day was going out of the off camera, they had their heads held high, and so the Usos are kind of turning back towards the face side. They're still kind of not necessarily cocky, confident.
Mm-hmm.
With their statements, we have this tag team on division on lock. They're confident, and so they're kind of turning back towards the face, but not the silly '90s Islander, New Islander kind of thing.
Not the 90s Samoan surfer gear that they were wearing. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing at all.
There was nothing wrong with it. It worked for them, but this is just a gimmick that that they just pull off so well and are totally game for, and could work as babyface or heel.
And that's what I was just going to say. It was
sorry.
It's fluid. No.
Didn't mean to take the words out of your mouth.
No, but we're on the same page, Fab. We're a good tag team. And in order to be a good tag team, you got to be on the same page.
It's like I said a few weeks ago, we got this podcast division on lock.
That's right. Central Illinois podcast.
About wrestling, we got it.
We got it on lock. Great match. Jimmy and Jay, great champions. They deserve everything that's going their way right now. They deserve the championships. They do.
They do. And if the Young Bucks are named Tag Team of the Year for the 4th straight year, and the Usos aren't named Tag Team of the Year by any of the publications, malarkey.
Meltzer will not name anybody. I'm beginning to think. Sorry, I'm not going to say anything.
No, please do.
I'm beginning to think Meltzer. I didn't want to be one of those guys that was like Meltzer is biased.
Mm-hmm.
Meltzer is biased. He loves New Japan more than he loves anything else,
Mm-hmm.
and I know he'll probably say, well, what about this? You know, I gave AJ and Cena at blah 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 a 4 or 5 star, whatever it is. Yeah, I get that, man, and I get that there is some great wrestling around the world, but I honestly don't believe that you watch this with unbiased eyes.
He goes into it thinking New Japan's just so much better, kind of
I don't
like that
think
maybe.
he's a douche like that.
Okay.
I think he likes New Japan wrestling more,
And there's nothing wrong with
he
that,
loves
but
he loves the Bullet Club. He loves the Young Bucks because they're super tight. They really know each other, and I get that, man. I absolutely understand that. But I wish you would step back from those people and actually do your job justice. Not that I won't go see your star rating. I do, and I will. But I think you're pushing it, man, Meltzer. I think you need to pull back a little bit. That's just me. I don't know you. I'm probably wrong. So if I am wrong, Mr. Meltzer, I'm sorry. And I will stop being one of those guys who always pesters you about your star rating. And I never will message you because I think majority of the time you're right in what you say to those people. But this weekend was one of those weekends that I'm just like, you are a Young Buck fanboy.
Yeah.
You love them. You know them. They have a move named after you. Move back from that, man. Just move back. Because the Usos are better than them.
Yes. Yeah, and it's like we're not trying to start a riot here.
Nope.
We're just giving our opinion. Like, yeah, I mean, people think politics are divisive. Woo! Wrestling on the internet way more divisive. Oh man. But it's good. It's good conversations to have though.
Right.
You know?
Sorry about that little divide there. All right. Anything else about the match?
No, man. Just go watch it. It was awesome.
Yep. Moving on to the SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair versus Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss. Your thoughts about this match and why?
It was a decent match. I liked it. Both ladies looked good. I'm glad that they showed. They ultimately did show that Charlotte is the best. that she was better.
Yep.
But I'm glad that they didn't make Alexa just look completely worthless. Like they made her look really good too. You know, and they made her look really crafty, really smart, and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, Charlotte Flair is a Flair. I mean, they just know this business, and she's
the best player.
It's one of those things.
It's hard to say, but it is.
It's
true.
I'm not gonna say you're not wrong. I'm not gonna say you're wrong at all, man. Yeah, she's fantastic. Like, I don't think there's anything she's done that hasn't been great. And yeah, this just is one of those things where it's just like she just won the title. She is just too good, and nothing against Alexa by any means. So please, nobody misunderstand me here. But I just feel like Charlotte needed to win this. I don't know why. She's over as all get out. People love her. She's great. She's one of the not just women's wrestlers. I think she's one of the top 5 best in the world, like all wrestlers. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like Alexa Bliss wouldn't be as damaged with the loss here as Charlotte. I don't know why I feel like that. Like, I mean, she's Charlotte. So I don't know why I felt like that for this, but I just feel like it was, a big one. But yeah, it had some good stuff in it. Some good chain wrestling, some good, I love like all that quick, fast-paced chain wrestling and stuff like that, and this had some good spots in that. So yeah, I liked it. Pretty decent.
My only issue with it is that I spent the majority of the match worried for Alexa. She looked, and here's the reason why, is because she has had a history of body issues in her mind.
Mm.
She's had a history of eating disorder. She looked different than she did a couple weeks ago to me. She looked thinner. Now, you can work out to do that. But I don't know, something about her face, something that when I looked at her, I was just like, I hope she's healthy. I hope she's fine. And so it wasn't that I wasn't watching the match. I was just more concerned with her well-being. So I didn't say that to you as we were watching. I wanted to keep that to myself because I just was hoping that was just me, which it probably was. I just felt like, and I think she has a lot of triggers. You never really escape those kind of things in your life. And so I hope that if she is back to her eating disorder issues, I hope people in her life, like Naya, who are her best friend, will speak up and say, you need to settle down. You need to stop listening to people. Because when Mickey said the biscuit butt thing, like I automatically, even though that was funny, my first thought was, I hope that doesn't get into Alexa's brain, because things will be bad. And so maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
I mean, and Mickey's from Virginia, so that could be a saying from there.
Yeah.
And a completely and I'm sure it was, because Mickey James seems like a good person. She doesn't seem like somebody who would.
And it makes sense in context.
That,
but somebody with an eating disorder doesn't take any of those things into account.
Yeah.
They just they hear those things and the sickness takes over, and they start doing dumb things again. And so I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Yeah, I didn't know any of that.
Yeah,
I didn't know any of that at all.
Apparently, a lot of ladies are coming out and saying they are, but you can see where Alexa has before. But anyway, with that being said, Charlotte needed to go over. Alexa didn't, because if they're getting ready to push Asuka, they need to have a weaker champion. Whoever they push next, they need to have a weak-ish champion. Losing here to Charlotte was one of those things that was good for that. I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to say about this. Oh, you need to go to their YouTube page, because they have a lot of extras behind the scenes. One of the extras was Alexa walking down the path. She had just lost. She has her championship, and then Becky and Charlotte come behind her, and they're like, "Oh, I just won!" Blah blah. They had a phone. I was like, "Oh, how did it feel to win?" Blah blah blah. And Alexa's just like, "Oh man!" Like, she didn't say anything. She just her head hangs, and she's just like, and she walks away sad. So go after one of these things. Go to their YouTube page. They have a lot of fun aftermath type things. And so those are my thoughts about the match. I'm sorry that was long. That was one of the things I was fearing. And anyway,
I just hope nobody says that you're body shaming her. Ugh.
I'm not. No.
I know. No.
I'm not body shaming her.
I know you're not. I'm just saying.
I don't believe that she's. I don't believe anything that might be in her brain. I just want her to be healthy. That's my main.
You just
concern.
had a human concern.
Yeah, I had a human concern. Like, her face looked different. Her body looked different. Not that it was like objectifying her either, but her body. If you took a picture of her body now and took a picture and saw a picture of her earlier, I don't think they would be the same. Everything about her seemed different, especially her jawline. That's what caught me the most. But that's me. Anyway, moving on.
All right, moving on. You're setting up this next one, I think, right? Or no, I am.
No, you are.
I am. Okay, I was confused. Wait. Yeah, I am. Okay, sorry. I just got.
That's all right.
So confused. It's so confusing to keep track sometimes of who did what and stuff. All right, so now we had the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar with the Advocate, the second greatest manager of all time, and maybe the greatest talker of all time, Paul Heyman, along with the greatest wrestler I have ever seen in my life, the phenomenal AJ Styles. Jeremy, what did you think of this match?
For the last couple of days, since AJ has won the championship, people said the greatest wrestler of our generation. That is a bold-faced lie. He is the best wrestler who has ever lived of any generation. You can mark my words. Even if they were the best wrestler in the whole world ever, in my opinion. Johnny Gargano, you're the close second. Anyway, yeah, great match. Like the first like 5-10 minutes, or maybe it was 5 minutes. I don't know.
I think it was like the first 5. I think.
Just with him being beaten up. This was the best put together match of the night.
I'd agree. I'd agree with that.
Because they did the first 5 minutes beating AJ around, and so we're both like, oh crap, this is gonna be a. This is gonna be a.
AJ Styles deserves better than this.
Yeah.
Ah, come on. Yeah.
And then the true match started, and boy, what did Brock? Bravo! You sold what you needed to sell, even though sometimes it looked ugly. I don't care. You sold it. You are growing. Thank you for doing your job. Paul Heyman, thank you for suggesting AJ Styles win the championship so that this match could happen. This was a great match. I do hope this match happens sometime in the future. I don't want to see AJ on Raw at all because the gimmick is that he's what makes SmackDown. You can't do that. Bring Brock over. Don't care. Like after he loses at WrestleMania, bring him over. Then have an awesome thing with him and even Shinsuke. Like any of those guys. Probably my third or fourth favorite match of the weekend. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this match was good. I mean, we were just like, oh man, like here we go. Brock Lesnar's just gonna suplex City, 1F5, everybody. But then yeah, AJ, they're like you said, the real match started, so to speak. Yep. This was the best put together because they totally suckered us. They swerved us into thinking that it was just going to be a squash. And then AJ just started getting spurts of offense out. And then before we knew it, he just started going to town on Brock's knee. And just great stuff like that. Like it was just well put together and Brock was selling his stuff really well. Yeah, like absolutely Brock, bravo, man. You guys put on a great match. You guys really did something special tonight. This seemed like a big, like, people talk about, like, back when the heavyweight division in boxing was stacked, when you had, Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield and, Roderick Bowe and all those great guys back in the day, like, Lennox Lewis, the Klitschko brothers and stuff like that. Like, this seemed like that. This seemed like one of those, big pay-per-view fights, and it did. And and it was funny that, Brock Lesnar was like, or Heyman was like, the greatest fighter in WWE. Did you hear that? Did you hear that performer?
That was awesome.
And so I think that was a good jab, but then I think it was kind of for the psychology of the match. It was to light a fire under AJ, to be like, I'm coming out here to fight, and like it was just really well done. Like it's just crazy to look at these guys and be like, these guys are the same age. They're stepping in the ring together for the first time, and like this was one of the for the first 5 minutes, this was one of the most disappointing matches of the year. And then because of the last 10, it turned into one of the best matches of the year. And one of the best matches of this event and of the weekend. And I really, really enjoyed it. Nobody has ever looked better in defeat, I think, that I can think of at the moment. Like, AJ just looked tough. And then, like, Heyman cut a promo afterwards backstage, talking about just all the respect he had for AJ and stuff like that, and that's really cool. I thought that was so cool because I think in character and in reality he really does. Because Paul Heyman, in reality seems like a guy who really loves and respects this business and really does respect and admire guys like AJ and like Cena and Orton and Jericho and Brock. He just really does, and so that was just so cool to see. And and like I was just like, you and I clapped at the end of this match, and like I'm one of those guys who hates it when people clap at the end of movies, but we both clapped at the end of this match just because we were so amped up by the end of it, and it was so well done. And yeah, like I said, I don't think anybody's looked better in defeat than AJ right here, and yeah, it was. I'm really interested to see where both of these guys go from here. But yeah, I mean, it was, it was awesome. Like, Brock is a legit fighter, is a legit tough guy, but yeah, and that helps his credibility in wrestling and stuff like that. But I think they made AJ look really, really good here, and I just can't speak to enough. Like, Brock played ball, and he put on a great match with AJ. Like, it was just really, really good.
Yeah, a couple things. Paul Heyman, I'm glad you put over AJ. He doesn't need to be put over.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that happened
But
because yep.
he admired him so much that he was just like, I just need to tell people this guy's good,
And that's great.
which is
But
cool.
which is great. It actually it helps the next phase of what's to come for AJ. And so for that, Paul, you did a great job. And AJ has the rematch for Gender on Tuesday,
Hmm.
and so we'll see what happens. I hope we're done with Gender.
Yeah.
I hope we're done with Gender for a bit. Let him go in the background, bring him back later.
It was
Anyway.
a noble experiment.
Yeah, it was.
It just didn't work. I'm sorry.
Not for us Americans. Maybe
Yeah.
for the India crowd.
And if it worked for them, that's great. It really is, man. That's awesome.
But what's best for business? AJ Styles as one of your champions
Mm-hmm.
on SmackDown. Baron, I think it's going to take a while for Baron to be liked by real good fans. I think he's decent in the ring. He's working on his personality in the ring. Like you said, the last thing he said before leaving the ring was pretty brilliant, Baron. And so now we have the heel as the U.S. champion and the babyface as the WWE champion, which like it should be. One needs to be champion over the other. All right, moving on to the last match of the night: Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. Caleb, what were your thoughts about the match and why?
Just star power, man. Like this, it felt like an old school Survivor Series match with that those matches that had like Andre the Giant, Ultimate Warrior, and Hogan and Macho Man and all that. Like it felt like one of those. Like it's just like, man, just but these guys can actually wrestle a lot better than that. Those old school guys. But yeah, this match was pretty entertaining. It had some spots I was kind of like, huh. You're absolutely right. You brought it up. Finn Balor's face was funny. Him kind of like when Bobby Roode was in the ring with Triple H and he's getting ready to do his glorious thing and you see Finn just off to the side going, don't do it. Like that was wonderful. And then when Cena was, I think it was when he was in the ring with Samoa Joe, maybe I can't remember who. He was in the ring with somebody, and he's doing his thing, and then you see Finn like standing behind him in the background, just looking at Cena and shaking his head no. Like that was funny. Yeah, and there were so many cool combinations and stuff that got me really excited, and I really liked. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about the finish at the end, but yeah, for what it was a big storyline thing. I didn't hate it. It had its moments. It wasn't the best match of the night, but the star power really helped it a lot. The whole storyline stuff really helped it a lot too. So a match that was just that was just okay, but had some good moments, was helped because of the star power and the personalities and the storyline stuff. They made Braun look spectacular. I loved seeing Randy Orton and Samoa Joe go at it. I loved seeing Randy Orton and Finn Balor go at it. I liked seeing Shinsuke and Triple H go at it. I liked just all the different combinations they had were awesome. And I loved the whole in the Kurt Angle and John Cena in the ring together. I liked seeing that. That took me back. That took me back to 7th grade. that was pretty neat. Yeah, I just really enjoyed it. Like I said, not a spectacular like whoa so good, but just like I said, the star power and the atmosphere, along with the storyline stuff, really kind of helped it. So what about you?
Could it have been better? Absolutely. They set it up pretty well, having Triple H kind of facing, like you would put it, two of his, I forget how you put it.
Yeah, two of his creations, kind of.
Even though they're not, but it's still pictured as that. It's two guys who came up in his NXT system that we wanted to see. There were some things I think they missed. I think they could have had a longer segment with Samoa Joe and John Cena, with Kurt Angle and Bobby Roode, with a couple of the guys back and forth. Even Braun and a lot of people. Braun was out for a majority of the late of the match. And so, but did I hate the match? No, I'd go back and watch it to would definitely go back and watch this whole thing to see what they were planting after we find out, in the next couple months what might happen. Um, this is one of those things that you would have to go back and see to see if, especially because I think they're getting ready to do some flip flopping again, from Raw to SmackDown, SmackDown to Raw, and so if that's the case, I think they've set up a lot of that during this show without us knowing it. Um, but as far as the match goes, it was fine. I didn't understand a couple of the things. The ending was weird. I don't want to see Triple H versus Kurt Angle, mostly because I want to see Triple H versus Braun now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a better draw.
I think so too.
I want to see Kurt Angle versus somebody else. And I know I said I don't want to go over rumors, but there is a rumor, and this is kind of interesting. I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but there is a rumor that somehow for WrestleMania, they're going to have Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon on one side, and Triple H and Stephanie on another. Like they're going to be against each other. And they're like the rumor is that's going to happen. The other rumor with that says that both sides are going to try to get Daniel Bryan on their side. So
Ooh.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, interesting.
But I can see that kind of being set up with what happened with Shane at the end of the match too.
Yeah.
That was really Shane's face was really funny. Really funny. What's going on? That was really funny. And yeah, Finn's face was the best thing of the whole night. Different things that happened throughout the night. I would just go back to watch his face every day to see what I missed with his face. Don't do it! Don't do it! Oh, don't do it! That was funny.
Yeah, that was fun.
Samoa Joe, Rockstar, all the guys in the match were Rockstars. Like you said, this is star power, and the only thing that would have made this star, go supernova would be if Undertaker was in the match.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, there is no other star power in WWE right now that would have made this match more huge.
Yeah, there's really not.
But yeah, it was. I mean, the ending for me made the whole match.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because they pushed Braun. Hopefully this is, like my friend had put it, strapped a rocket to his back and made him launch into the babyface atmosphere. The face on Triple H, priceless. When Braun is choking him in the corner.
Yeah, that was
great.
Fear.
And not only that face, but what happens afterwards, the comedy, like people stay around the comedy side of it after Braun takes control of Triple H and destroys him. He's still in the ring. If you guys haven't seen this footage is he's still in the ring, knocked out, flat on his back, and Stephanie comes out to try to get him up, and he's like, "Come on!" And she's like, "Come on, crowd! Come on, guys! Let's hear it for Triple H!" And he just slowly gets up, and he's just out of it. And so another angle when he's walking back to the locker room, he runs into the partition there, the screen, and acts like he was still kind of out of it. And so
yeah, that was funny.
Bravo Triple H for that. Bravo for the faces that you made. Bravo for all that stuff. But I know people are going to complain that, well, this is Triple H's show, so he's going to be the best thing in the whole thing. And
yeah,
and like it's kind of the point of the match.
Yeah. Although it was just a joke. Like it wasn't like actual like marky or smarky like Triple H God. Like it was just meant to be a joke. Somebody played showed a gif of him pedigreeing and then pinning Shane to win, and it said Triple H back to remind us that he's still Triple H. And I thought that was very funny.
It was funny.
And then there was another one where it had Braun like when he was standing next to Triple H, and he just had that look of like complete and utter like surprise, betrayal, bewilderment, like he didn't know what was going on. And it was just the gif of him just staring like slack jawed, completely surprised at Triple H. It was just a gif of that, and it said Braun is all of us right now. Because we were just like,
his face was priceless.
Like he did such a great job with that. Like we were just like, what's going on? And then when he just grabs Triple H by the throat and then choke slams him, and then he didn't choke slam him. He put him in the corner. And like, yeah, like Triple H's face when he was in it, like that was like, whoa, that is fear. Like that is just like pure like, uh-oh. And then he tried to sucker punch him, and then he just owns Triple H. I'm just like, yes, I want to see this match. Give it to me now.
Yeah. A couple more things before I'm done with this match. First of all, Triple H could still go.
He can still go.
Which I'm sad about because I don't like him. I hate him. Thank you for doing your job, Triple H. I've hated you majority of my life. Not for real, as in kayfabe, if you will.
Not Paul Levesque. We're talking about Triple H.
And I hate you for making me like you with doing the things that you do at the end of people shooting and you running into walls and making people laugh and making me say bad things about Vince. Stop doing that. I love you now and I hate you.
Yes, ditto.
But two, isn't this what storytelling should do? Make us have the same face Braun is having at times. Not every time, but at times, especially now. Because right now they're gearing up for Royal Rumble. Well, the next technical pay-per-view is Clash of Champions. It's a SmackDown pay-per-view.
But that's just a pit stop.
Yeah, it's a pit stop to Royal Rumble. As of right now, we don't know of any of the minor shows. They're going to be in next year. We just know the main four, and we know where they're going to be. So a show should leave you scratching your head and wanting to watch Monday and Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
That is what a pay-per-view is supposed to do. It's supposed to drive up not only attendance to these events, but viewership.
Mm-hmm.
What, in my opinion, the end of this show absolutely, the whole show actually, totally, the whole show makes me want to watch tonight. The Monday Night Raw makes me want to watch SmackDown. Will they be good? I don't know. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Usually the ones after WrestleMania are pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially when Roman Reigns comes out, says a couple words, and then leaves. Brilliant.
Yeah.
You can do brilliant stuff. And from what I understand, I don't know what the opening is. I was trying to read some of it. We get some of the answers, little by little. And like I said, they're gearing up, especially Raw, because I don't know that they're going to have a pay-per-view before Royal Rumble. I don't know if they've got anything set for January. We'll find out, I'm sure, eventually. But Royal Rumble is where they're pointing to. And so, who is going to be in the Royal Rumble? Mm-hmm. Sadly, Roman Reigns is going to have to win it. Unless they do something.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't know, because, yeah, I don't know. My money is on Shinsuke winning, and then
I guess he doesn't
going up against AJ.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, they could, be like,
we need to do a tournament to decide.
Yeah, like, which would be cool. Like, do a tournament, because you and I love tournaments. Like, do a tournament leading up to Royal Rumble and
King of the Ring. Bring King of the Ring back.
Bring King of the Ring back.
Because there's enough time between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. You can throw in King of the Ring to figure out who's going to meet Brock.
That would be sweet.
WrestleMania. Like, do that, man. You're absolutely right. They need to be. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, like, doing King of the Ring would be cool. Because that was one thing, for the past year I've been saying, like, what does WWE need to do? My number one thing is always bring back King of the Ring because I love tournaments.
Because
that's the whole pay-per-view. It's just one big tournament.
Yep. And that's what wrestling should do. They should have tournaments. Thank you, Triple H, for bringing tournaments back.
Yeah, because of the Mae Young Classic and Cruiserweight Classic and the UK tourney, like, it's just like, man, tournaments are so cool. Like, and they bring back King of the Ring, or just over the course of a couple weeks on Raw, have a tournament and have the final match be at Royal Rumble, and Roman will win that to go face Brock. Maybe they'll be like, maybe Paul Heyman could come work his magic and be like, sorry, Royal Rumble hopefuls, but the Universal Championship is off limits. The winner of blah 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 of the blah 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 tournament will face Brock Lesnar, or so, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
They could do something like that where it's kind of, kind of contrived but believable.
Yeah.
Where they could just be like, even if you're a Raw or a SmackDown guy, if you win, you can cash in, or you'll cash in on the WWE Championship. You won't be facing for the Universal Championship because of the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter if you're Raw, SmackDown, or NXT even. You know what I mean? So.
Yep.
They could do something like that. Because I don't think because of how polarizing Roman is, and because of how his last Royal Rumble win went, they'll probably do something different with him. They should, anyways. Like he can, that's what I was hoping they would do, is just like at the Rumble, or even after, depending on who wins it. Like if it's a SmackDown guy, like Shinsuke, do King of the Ring after Royal Rumble. Like do that like a month after Royal Rumble. A King of the Ring or a tournament style, a tournament style pay-per-view. To determine that, but they're like, oh, okay, Shinsuke Nakamura won, so he's going to be facing AJ Styles for the WWE Championship because they're both SmackDown guys, blah blah blah. So we need to find out who's going to face, the Raw champion, the Universal champion. So we're having a tournament. So, anyways, just going off into fantasy booking world now.
Yep.
Getting away from, which is fine. We haven't done stuff like this for a while. But Survivor Series, Jeremy. Are you done talking about it? Is there anything else we? All right, yeah, I'm done too. Letter grade. What would you give Survivor Series?
I would give it an F. No, man, I probably would give it a higher grade if I really thought about it, and did accomplish everything they wanted to get done. Probably. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a B.
Okay.
Because I think that if they do everything that they are wanting to do off of this, I think it's going to be a solid show.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's a B. For B. What about you?
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. That's funny that we're both giving the same grades on each show.
We should go be tag teams.
Yeah. I would give it a B also. Not bad enough to give it a B minus, but just not spectacular enough to be like, woof, man,
I gotta watch
A
that again.
or something. But like the tag team match, Usos in the bar, I would go back and watch that in a heartbeat. Totally. So because all the matches entertained me in some way, and the ones that were spectacular were really, really good, especially Brock and AJ and the Bar and the Usos.
Yep.
Because of those two matches, it's nearing a B plus, but it doesn't get the full B plus territory just because we have an incomplete story here. I feel.
We do.
So.
And that's fine.
Because Royal Rumble initially, you and I were just like, man, like last year, this year.
Yeah.
But it was so long ago.
Yep.
We were just like, they're building something. We don't know what yet, but at the moment, I kind of have a bad taste in my mouth. And then it ended up being just a wonderful, everything, was a grand scheme. It worked out, pretty decently. So we have an incomplete story, so we will have to wait and find out what happens. I cannot wait to watch Raw. I'll probably have to wait tomorrow because I need to go to bed soon.
Yep, sleepy time.
Yep. All right. Well, pretty good 2 shows, man. Totally. War Games. Go watch all of it. Don't skip any of it. Go watch all of it.
Absolutely.
And Survivor Series. If you've already seen it, just go back and watch AJ and Brock. Go back and watch Usos and the Bar. Fantastico. Good, 2 good shows, man. Enjoyed it. So much fun. War Games got an A from both of us, and Survivor Series got a B from both of us. But both should take pride in that, because we know how much they respect our opinion. They yearn for our approval.
And Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose from NXT are both on Raw now. I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay then.
That's just interesting.
That is very
with
interesting.
Paige, I don't know. I'm very eager to see what Raw. Sorry, I'm just checking the Twitter. We should all be done. Real Paige is back, and she's brought Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. So there's that. I want to see where this goes.
As am I.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Sorry. I guess we should be done now, so we can go to bed.
All right. Yes, indeed. Well, that was a good show from our Monday night special dealing with the Survivor Series weekend. No show later this week. We'll catch you guys next week for our weekly recaps. We'll talk a little bit about this week's episodes, and we'll talk about next week's episodes. And also, we gave each other homework assignments. This is a weekly thing we're going to do where over the course of the week, we're going to give each other one match to watch for that week, and then the next week, to close out the show, we'll talk about it. It's a fun thing we're doing. I need to think of something clever to do instead of just calling it homework. I don't know what else I can call it, but I've just been calling it. We've been giving each other, homework assignments to, matches to watch. So yeah, we both sent each other a match to watch. So next week when we get back, we'll discuss those.
Absolutely.
Well, that should be a lot of fun. So everybody, thanks for stopping by. Have a happy Thanksgiving. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jeremy.
Signing off.
Peace.